I just came off a call with a wonderful client, and it reminded me of the fear that so many of us feel speaking up and using our voice, whether learning how to kind of speak true in any kind of relationship, professional or romantic, or perhaps platonic, learning how to speak up on something that matters to us, or learning how to have a boundary, push back on something, say no to something. That can also translate that fear around using our voice in meetings, speaking up and sharing something, or showcasing our own achievements. Perhaps you're a manager who's very used to showcasing other people's achievements in your team, but maybe you feel discomfort showcasing your own. One good way around this is to try and reframe terms that might feel a bit triggering, like leadership, in a different way, maybe looking at it through the lens of we rather than I, maybe looking at speaking up in meetings through the lens of how might this benefit others. Maybe perhaps it will give them intel into projects they weren't aware of. Perhaps it will give them new ideas themselves. Perhaps by you showcasing your achievements, you'll be role modeling and leading by example. So reframing it around the benefits for the we versus I'll be showing off the me, you know? And this all feeds back to the wider power of when we're kind of blocked sometimes and stressed, of leaning into authenticity. So moving away from what should I do? How should I be a leader? How should I change to be different? Forget that, leaning into who you really are. What am I really passionate about in terms of the projects I'm working on? What do I actually feel really excited and proud of that I'm achieving? And leaning into that passion, the heart, because that's the authentic self. And when we lean into that, everything becomes easier. And the way that we express ourselves vibrates in a really magnetic way that lands with people, rather than what should I say, you know, how should I construct this? How do I want this to seem? Lean into what feels true for you, what you're inspired by, what you're passionate about, and why you are. Now that will be inspiring in and of itself for others. So just a quick little nice reminder, a couple of helpful quotes, which might help you sort of dig into that feeling a bit more. Dr. Susan David, PhD, who is a Stanford professor, said something very powerful around difficult feelings of discomfort and resistance that we all feel. That's basically the manifestation of fear, and none of us are exempt from feeling fear. She said, discomfort is the price we pay for admission to a meaningful life. In other words, discomfort just signals growth. We have to sort of run across the hot coals of discomfort to get to the gold on the other side. There's no getting around that. So remember, unless it's the kind of fear that's following you down an alleyway with a knife, real fear, the run, you're in trouble, Mel fear, it's the growth fear. It's the fear that signals this discomfort equals greater growth on the other side, greater success and greater achievement. And the other powerful quote to remember is from the sort of human development expert, Mark Groves, really bright guy. And he reminds us that by not speaking true or speaking up or using our voice, whether it's to share an achievement, to bring up something difficult with a partner, or maybe to have a boundary, two things. Firstly, we're self-abandoning. So you can think of that as your inner voice. Oh, I really wish I could share this. I really want to say that, but I didn't want to upset him or her. That's your true voice. That's what you need to be sharing. That's your authentic, most powerful self. By not sharing that, you're self-abandoning. And by also not sharing that, you're preventing the other person from growing and developing. And you're sort of preventing the we, in a way, the unity of you together, whether in a professional sense or a romantic sense or otherwise, from being everything that you can be. Again, it all comes back to the collective benefit, really. So taking the sort of emphasis off the I, and the shaming and the shoulding, and really stepping towards your authentic self and leaning into that, because vulnerability always connects. It always connects.